Welcome to another episode of Unsealed. I am your host, Brian J. And to my right, I have.
Your co-host, no other person than Latoya Clark. And today we have our fabulous guest.
Yes, now this guest here, I'm going to say our first guest, but this is our only guest for today. What can I say about this person? She's my mother. Let me go ahead and just put it out there. So I could not have a Women's History Month without making sure I got the story of this person to my left. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
I am. Yes,
So
I
this
am.
is Dr. Margaret Johnson. Some of you may know her, some of you may not. And we're going to just hop right in, okay?
Wow.
So for people meeting you for the first time today, who are you beyond being my mother? And what is the story of the woman sitting here today?
Wow, that's a lot.
Hmm.
I would say that they will be meeting someone that's able to comfort you, and I'm a peacemaker. I'm that person that you can come to and feel secure. I'm a fighter for those that need an assistant in whatever way possible. My life with this situation, I would say everything that I am right now is because of God, His grace and His mercy.
Absolutely.
All right. So you said you were a fighter. I can't wait to hear this story. So during those seasons, when everything is feeling like it's collapsing around you, tell me, how are you able to fight for your relationship with God?
Well, I take that fight from my being a child, one of 11 children. And
Wait. You mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 11?
11, one of 11 with my mom, and she was a single mother. And so therefore I became the big sister, which my oldest sister, I just had one older than me, and we were like 12 months and a year, a year apart. What happened was, as a fighter, my family leaned on me for the fights in the neighborhood. I would not get into the fight, but my siblings had a way of pulling me into their drama. And all they had to say was my nickname, Lois, and they knew I was like Superman. I would come around the corner and, fight the boys, the girls, and whatever I had to do. And that started my fight.
So you were really a rescuer because you came to their defense.
That's good. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, I didn't start them, but I knew how to finish.
All right.
Yes.
So since we're talking about your early days, when you were younger, what dreams did you have for your life that people may not know about?
I wanted to become a nurse. That was one. And the other was I wanted to be a single mom. Yes.
Wait. You wanted to relive the story of your
I
mom?
wanted to be a single because
single
my
mom.
mother was such a hero in my life. And so therefore she was strong. I mean, 11 kids, come on. Single mom. And that kind of shaped my life because she was caring, nurturing, very supportive. And so that nursing, it came from our having cats and dogs, and we would try to bring them back to life.
Wait. You had 11 siblings and cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs. We won't talk about the rats
Okay.
and the other things. We had pet
had other pets.
cemeteries. Yes,
Of
Yes.
everything.
yes,
All types of
yes,
animals.
yes. Oh, birds, you name it, frogs, rabbits.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we had the pet cemetery.
All right. So looking back, what did those painful chapters produce out of you? And how could you have relived them in your present?
Wow. Well, with my painful past, it's many things that I can go into. I've had trauma, I've had sickness, pain as a child coming up. We were in church, and my mother and my uncle, which is her baby brother, my aunt, and my grandmother was somewhere shot, and we had a lot of drama. And seeing that kind of thing play out before you, my mom was shot in the head, and her baby brother was shot in the head.
Oh, wow. Wait, tell us a little bit more about that story. How did they got shot in the head?
Well, it was an uncle that I used to call my favorite uncle that married into the family. And he wanted his wife back, and that's the way he decided that if she wasn't going to come back, he would take us all out. And at church, we were at what was called the first Sunday when you do the communion.
Right.
And everyone was dressed in white. Well, we seldom rarely went to church, but that night we happened to go with our grandmother and my aunt. And we were in the ladies' room, and I saw him coming towards my aunt. She went outside for something. And my other aunt was in there with me, and he began to stab her. And she ran in the church, and he came behind her with a shotgun. And he aimed at everyone he meant to shoot. At that time, I saw my mother run back in with her sister, and he shot her. Then he went to shoot my grandmother after he approached me with the gun. He put the gun in my face, and I knew it was God that made him not know exactly what he was doing, because he became confused. And as I was saying no, he would look at me and shake his head. And he went to my grandmother and tried to shoot her, but the gun wouldn't go off. So he took the barrel and split her head open and did a lot of damage. And then he saw my uncle outside. And we are now at that age. I was 11. My uncle was around 12 or 13. And he shot him in the head. That was very traumatic, and I think that's what also started a lot of my being able to handle pressure and the things that we went through with, and to know a God that saves, because all of my family members lived to tell the story.
Ooh.
And the culprit, he died, and I had to identify him.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So even as a child, God had his hand on you.
Had his hands all over me. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's just a testimony all into itself. Right?
Absolutely. I was hoping she stated like the age she was. So that's a preteen experiencing that type of trauma. That's major, and that's when I first learned about the story, I was so shocked, like, oh my God. Like, to imagine an 11-year-old seeing your entire family shot, all of the blood,
Yes.
stabbings.
Yes.
I can only imagine
And by
the
another
trauma.
family member.
Yes.
At that, right?
Right.
Yes.
By another family member at church.
At
Yes.
church. How
Yes.
do you
Like-
even recover from that? Like, recover from the point where you could go back to church, recover from the point that you could recover from family.
Well, because we have such strong women in our family, very strong. My mother and her siblings, and I must state the fact, they were carriers. They made sure that if you come up on them, they're going to take care of themselves.
Oh.
So they were able to, and so I came from a family of
Very-
fighters.
oh, you-
Yeah,
Strong
and
women.
we will not start, but we'll finish.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
See, so that all plays back into her being a finisher.
Yeah, yeah.
She got it naturally from her family. Now, you've experienced more loss than most people know. So you just told the story of when you were 11. Your uncle pretty much attempted to murder everyone in your family, right?
Yes.
So let's move past those days, right? Let's move forward some. Let's go to when you were married. I know this story personally. But let's talk about another tragic loss that you had to endure. It's going to help other women out there who feel as if, I can't move past this particular loss. And we're getting somewhere with all this, right? Like
Yeah.
I want to go through your history because we have to celebrate some of those milestones that you had in life. You know, you broke history, you made history, and we'll talk about that. But I want everyone to truly understand what you had to overcome in order to get there. So let's go to you're married now, and your at that time your oldest son.
Wow.
Tell everyone about that story.
Yes, my son Kevin, our first oldest son. It was very devastating. He became ill around maybe 3 years old, and we did not know that his kidneys had gone bad, and he had to go through about 7 surgeries. I'm in a church where, people pray, but they don't understand what you're going through. To me, I feel that being a Christian, that by then I'm about 10 years in, maybe 11 years in, and he becomes ill, and, they're telling you, oh, fast and pray, and God will heal, and I'm trying to know this God, that I always believed that there was something bigger, but no one really told me about this great God. Only I saw it through my grandmother's eyes. And when she would talk to me, she would tell me about the God that loved you and the healer and things of that nature. And so I believed the God my grandmother believed, yet I still didn't know him
For yourself.
for myself. And life went on, and he had 7 surgeries throughout the years. And we were, I'm sorry, but however, we were at the hospital and believing God with everything inside of me. And I would just say this, let me say this right now. Never stop believing, no matter what the outcome is. Never stop believing. I was in my bed, and I'm a dreamer, and I know how to interpret dreams. And I was laying there, and I know that I was like in between, not fully asleep. And we were in what they call the Ronald McDonald House right down the street from the hospital. So we were in there, and the Lord allowed my son to come before me. And he was sitting at the end of his bed, sitting Indian style. And I was sitting at the foot of his bed. And he looked at me. He looked so just refreshed. He looked like, oh my gosh, just like he stepped out of a magazine, but he had his hospital gown on. And he said, Mom, he said, I feel good, good, good. I said, you do? He said, yes, I feel good. He said, don't worry about me. I feel good. I said, well, do you know why you feel good? He said, no. I said, God healed you. And it was like he was full of joy. He did? And I said, yes, he healed you. And my belief was, as I was there, I just believed that God had just healed him. The phone rang, and my husband, he got up and he answered the phone, and he said, okay. He said, all right. Okay, we're getting ready now. So this is like around midnight. And so he said, babe, they want us to come up to the hospital. They're sending the cart for us. I said, okay. And I was beginning to feel excited. And just thinking about what the Lord I felt just shown me.
Right.
And I was getting dressed. He said to me, he said, baby, just say this, Lord, whatever you do, I'll be satisfied. So I said it with him, but because I just knew
Right.
that this is that miracle. And as I walked in, and his doctor came, very beautiful young lady, and she said to me, she said, I did do everything I could, but I noticed blood was on her
Scrubs.
her scrub, yes. And so she said, I just want you to know he was tired. And I said, okay. And I'm thinking that was his first time being really in a secure place where it looked like he was getting better. So she said, he he was a fighter. She said, but I just need to tell you he's gone. And my thinking to myself, my husband just say, Lord, whatever you
it
do, I'll
is.
be satisfied. And Lord, you just showed me him being healed. And I'm saying to myself, well, maybe they had to do something to his kidney or whatever. And she said, we lost him. And I'm saying to her, lost him? She said, he's gone. I said, gone where? And I'm serious. I was like, this is where I was. I said, gone where? She said, he's deceased. And all I could do was just crumble. Knowing that we hear them say God gives and he takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And I'm saying to myself, how can I bless you now? That's my baby. How do I rejoice? What you showed me him healed. And I couldn't understand. To me, I'm still a young Christian trying to understand this thing called Christianity and navigate through life. And after she did that, I went to pieces. All they could continue to ask me for his eyes or whatever. And I told them no. He came whole, and I want him to stay whole. The strange thing about my son, he was very gifted. He knew things like he was an old man. And we were watching this show, I've forgotten the name of it, where this doctor would do the forensic medicine. Mm-hmm. And he said, Mom, what are they doing? I said, they're doing an autopsy. He said, well, if I ever die, don't ever let that happen to me. Mm-hmm. And for a child to be able to,
that.
Yes, and that's why I chose not to do what they were requesting of me.
Now, how old was he when he passed away?
It was his 10th year, them being 10 years old.
So how many children do you have total?
Well, with him, 5.
Okay.
5. After that was one of the most major things that I've ever been through, and God brought me through. And for anyone that may have to go through that, one thing the Lord taught me was he heals on both sides.
Yeah.
He heals on both sides. And I had to learn that the hard way. And when the Lord showed me, no, he's with me now. Right. He's good.
Because he sent you that comfort.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And so that was a lesson learned. And it sticks with me today because I said how wise God is. Because if you think about it, I don't know Abraham, right. Isaac, Jacob. I don't know those characters. But he takes some of our loved ones with him so that we'll desire glory too. Whichever way it go, Lord, I'll be satisfied.
You'll be satisfied.
Yeah.
So at that point, you had 4 other children.
Yes.
How did you find
3?
3 other children?
3 because he wasn't there yet.
Oh, you just like to rub it in. You weren't
wasn't
there yet.
yet.
You weren't there yet.
He wasn't there.
So how did you pick up the pieces to still give nurture and love to your other 3 kids and then still go back and have another child? Tell us about that type of strength.
Well, with my 2 of the sons that I had at that time, the second oldest, he went through struggles. He would be outside literally playing with his brother Kevin. And you would think that he was right there. At my age and during that time in life, we didn't have all of the helps that we have now. I had no help. I'm sorry to say it, but I must speak the truth.
Right.
No help from the church as far as knowing. I'm the only one that have had a child, a child losing a child. And so therefore, no one could really help me. So how I assisted with my children was just trial and error. Trying to allow them to feel what they feel as well. When they would talk about their brother, my baby, he was around 2, and he would talk to him, and say, Kevin, you see the bird, you see the birdie. And my daughter, however, she withdrew because later we learned that, and she told us that she thought that he was pretending to be sick. And when he died, she felt guilty. And so trying to maneuver, I'm a working mom, trying to help support the family, seeing about my children. It was difficult because that was my first loss as well. And even with the marriage, it put a strain on the marriage as well. People never know what you go through, but like I say, that God is really on your side, whether you believe it or not.
He definitely is.
He's omnipresent. Yes.
For sure. So, so you continue to navigate through life as a married mother who has lost a child. Much later in life, around your 30s, that's when I come along. And that was an accident. They tell me this all the time.
Yes.
They weren't planning it.
Yes.
You had some failed attempts or
Yeah.
miscarriages before me.
So you were just an oopsie baby.
I
Yes.
was literally a oopsie baby.
Yes.
I
yes.
really, really, really was.
I thought it was all over, you know.
Yeah, unplanned. So
Yes.
I'm here now. Life is going on. And I'm going to kind of speed through the story so we can get, the most out of it. She became very ill, very sick. The doctors had given her a 50-50 chance. And so I was there with her. All of my family was, my siblings were, as much as they possibly could. But because I was the youngest in the house, I was there with her. And I saw God heal her through praise. And that's why she's a praiser today. Like, God literally healed her through praise. And so now she's overcome that. Down the line, you lose one or two sisters.
The year that that I lost my baby sister, that I believe it was that March or April of 2008, my husband.
No, before that.
Which one?
You lost after you were sick. That's when you began to lose sisters, right? You lost a brother first.
My brother Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
So lost a brother, lost a baby sister. Then
Your dad.
my father, her husband,
And a week
passed
later,
away.
I had
And a
to
week
bury
later,
another sister.
another sister, right?
Wow.
And so I wanted to discuss all of those losses because what did that do to you as a believer in God? You had already lost a child. You lost sisters, a brother, a husband, all within a short time frame. How did that kind of strengthen, or I don't want to use the word weaken, but tell me how that curated your relationship with God?
Well, because I've been so close with my siblings, they were just like they were my kids. And so after you have lost a child, you kind of know how to maneuver. You kind of know what to feel. And because God had already given me grace and mercy by allowing me to be a part of that journey. And what I say, a part of it, from that, I was strengthened after the death of my son, then my mother and other loved ones. When it came to the siblings, God had strengthened me as well. But one thing I must say, that your belief, you've got to believe. I had to believe that there is something greater waiting for me on this side, because he promised me on this side as well.
Right.
And on the other side. And the strength came because of my fasting and praying and just working with people in general. And I must say that I did go into nursing briefly. So therefore, I learned the anatomy of the body, the different things and how life takes on changes. And I was able to go through by the faith and grace and mercy of God.
So when you look back at your life now, right, because we have navigate your journey through the unfortunate family incidents that goes on, your unfortunate loss of your son, the unfortunate ups and down of relationships, your workforce level that you kind of did, but you kind of didn't. But grace of God, you got all the necessary equipment that you needed to sustain you through this journey. Now that you reflect on everything, what do you think is your journey process? How would you describe that, and what does that mean to you as a mother, the process of that journey?
Wow. As a mother, well, I would say that when you try to do the best that you can, that's all you can do, is your best. Not feeling or stating that I was the greatest mother, but I tried to be a good mother. I tried to give my children what my mom and my grandmother gave me. I mixed it all together and stirred it in the pot and just say, God, just bless me to be whatever I need to be to each one of them, because they are neither, not one of them are the same. And with that, I learned to just hold on to what I know, what I believe. And believe me, a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting goes into all of that. With that prayer and fasting, you have to have some kind of a force that can work along with you. You need to have that compatible person. And I was able to have decent people that work close enough. Louise DeLoach, she was one of the old church mothers. Cynthia Raymond, another strong person that was with me during some of those worst times in life. And I have to tell you that this young man here, I have to give it to him. He strengthened me because I had to be strong for him. And he didn't know that I watched him. And mothers may not ever touch you or just give you that A-OK, but just know that that means it's A-OK. We're going to make it through this. And when I had the rest of my kids around me, those others that fit the bill, I would say, those other people, I'm grateful for those that tried to assist. But there are some times you can only be who you are.
Amen.
And rest in that. I may not be the greatest mother, and I know children are leaving left and right and saying how horrible we were or how horrible we are. I would tell any mother, do your best. And after that, that's all you can do. And just tell your children, listen, love the Lord with all your heart, and I hope to see you in glory. I can't fix it. I can't fix it. It's done. You can't go back into my belly.
Yeah.
But I want parents to understand, it's okay to say, I'm sorry. I messed up.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of that these past few years. A lot of, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't know you felt that way. Because they take on the characteristics sometimes of people around them.
Correct.
And their journey wasn't as hard as they tried to act like it is. We know the truth, but we try not to bust their bubble.
Yeah.
And so we allow them to say things, and it's not okay. And I will tell any parent, it's not okay for your children to curse you out. It's not okay for them to argue back with you. I didn't do it to my mother. So I did not expect some of the things. My kids, he's one of them, used to have a flip mouth. Can I tell that story?
Sure.
He used to have a
Wait,
flip
tell
mouth.
wait, tell us all.
Yes,
Sure.
he had a flip mouth, and he would try to get a little spicy with his words back, and I'm quick with my hands like my mother. And he had, I owned a school, one of my schools, and he said something back to me. He was one of the students at the school. And I was sitting down. I said, son, come down. And, he's already a giant. I said, he bent down. I said, no, I need you on your knees. So he came to me, and they know now, listen, this is not going to work. I said, come a little closer. I said, that I need your lips. I said, bring your lips. So he stuck his mouth out, and he was blinking while he was coming towards me. So that hand went up, and I wiped the lips. Sometimes you have to reach out and touch them. You just have to ever so often.
Abuse. I want to go ahead and I didn't call the abuse line.
Come on,
when
call them. Call them.
She's touching them in Jesus' name.
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
what it
Touch
is.
somebody.
Yes,
Okay,
I was anointing the lips, and
Anointing the
wearing
lips,
them out.
massaging them with the hands of glory.
So it goes with the territory. We love them, we embrace them, and I know that all of my children, those my Johnson fives, and I know and I believe that all of them love me. Sometimes we don't understand each other. Sometimes we don't get along. Sometimes I know that my husband didn't like me. Sometimes I didn't like him. So we are part of all of that. So yes, that
Ingredients
journey.
for the salad.
Ingredients
Yes.
for the salad. So I'm so glad you did bring up the school because that was actually going to be my next segue. So for those who do not know, you started a school 30 plus years ago.
Yes.
And at your retirement, and this is why she's on the show today, at her retirement, it was the longest running Black-owned Christian private school in South Florida.
Ooh.
Yes.
So you are a mother, an entrepreneur, a pastor. We didn't even get into any of those subject at all. And you are just dominating the industry of just the first.
All of the industries. And so that's why I wanted her to be here today because a lot of times, and I've told her this, she's very humble. And if she doesn't tell you, you will not know. But someone has to brag about her, right?
Of course. So why not you with the big mouth just bragging
Hello?
out there? And
The
I'm
one that had to
telling
get
you,
slapped
I'm
up, right?
telling you.
Still works. The hand still works.
But everyone needs to know that you are able to not only survive loss, but thrive in loss. You know, losing all that she has lost as far as kids, siblings, a husband, a spouse. Most people would crumble. So I say that has to be some of your fueling force. You said believing that there is something greater. God has to have something greater. That's where that strength came from. So, yes, you mentioned something else. She was also, after the unfortunate passing of my father, she was also the pastor. Took over as lead pastor. So she's dealing with the loss. And this is not like a year later. Like she took over as lead pastor a couple of weeks after he passed away. So dealing with loss, leading, serving, healing.
Giving healing to others, because now you become a mentor, a counselor, because you have walked that walk and you're able to impart into others. You are given in ways that you never even dreamed about giving, because that is what God has given to you. He gave you, your life is a literally testimony that others may come in and pick from the pieces of your life to gain strength.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
And that's what women's history is all about.
Yes. I was about to say, we definitely have to do like a part 2.
Yeah.
To like really
Unpacked.
unfold and unpack
Yeah.
the many layers of Dr. MDJ.
And unseal the parts that are hidden, because we
Yes.
haven't even gone through those
No.
hidden parts yet.
No, this is just like a teaser.
Yes, a teaser.
A teaser.
This is
part
a mini
2.
treat. It's a treat.
A mini treat.
A mini treat.
I like it.
Mini treat.
So before we get out of here, before we close this episode out, what is one thing about your life that you would unseal for the many people who will hear you for the first time, see you for the first time, and experience Dr. MDJ for the first time?
I would say no holds barred. Because I've suffered, sacrificed, anything for the kingdom of God. So, no holds barred. Wherever I'm able to assist or help, that's where I am. I've pieced together my education so much, going to college for this, going to college for that. And so I am fitting myself for the kingdom. So I'm about total kingdom business. Don't mess with me this season.
So the Unsealed Dr. MDJ is
Yes.
no holds barred.
No holds
holds
barred.
barred.
So in your
love it.
retirement, you are no holds barred.
No holds barred.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
because like I said, of the many things, and let me say this, after the passing of my husband, I was thrust into a situation that I wasn't even ready for thinking of, but however God sent it to me, I was ready to do battle in the kingdom of God. Just whatever, Lord, whatever you say, because when your husband have, and you have worked all of those years as leaders, and he passed away and the people leave. And God blessed me to write a book entitled While the Widow Was Weeping.
Ooh.
And
We have so much to talk
That's
about.
what I'm saying. You see why we have to go part two.
We have maybe part 2
Author.
or part 3. You know,
Literally,
I think we're gonna have to like
author,
focus on
pastor, entrepreneur, nurse,
Yeah.
mom, wife.
widower. Like
Widower.
I mean, there's just way too much to unpack today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am
you
grateful.
she is living.
Yeah, she's
Women's
living.
History Month.
Yeah, you are the real deal. You are the true history of what it means to be a woman that shows her strength, right? Who can endure beyond her many achievements. Because achievements are one thing, but the endurance of it is something that's even more powerful. And I'm
God
so
be the
honored
glory.
to be sitting here with you
no,
today.
I'm so happy to be
Yeah,
here.
you know,
To God
honored to
be
be
the
with your
glory.
mom. You know,
She's
you know,
an honor to be with.
you know, I know your mom, but you know, I didn't know your mom like this. We are learning to. I'm just
Yeah.
blown away from stories after stories. I don't even know where to go next with her.
That's it. We can't go anywhere next.
Well, we're not going to go right now, but I'm just saying next. I don't even want to know about the stories until we talk about them on live.
I
Anyway.
get what
So
you're
next
saying.
time we will unseal together.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
more.
Definitely.
So thank you all for tuning in to this episode. Thank you to my amazing mother,
Thank
Dr.
you, love.
MDJ.
Thank
Apostle.
Oh,
You know, you can get
let me
the whole
clear it up, right?
Get the whole title
Right.
together.
Apostle. Come on, somebody. In the Lord's
Amen.
church. Dr. MDJ. Thank you
God
so much
bless
for
you.
being
Thank you.
one
Thank
of our
you
guests this
For
month.
having me. Thank you, love.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. I hope I got it right. The production team will tell me if I didn't. Peace. We love y'all. We'll holler
Thank
at
you.
next
See you
time.
soon.
Thank you.